What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the NBA show, Hoops Pod. We're back live. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I think it's been a week since we did the show. Obviously, we let the semifinals go on first, but we have some events that happened today. Certain team in purple and gold have been eliminated, and the Philadelphia 76ers haven't made it to the conference finals for God knows how many years. Anyways, we're back. Anyway. What's going on, everyone? What's going on, Augustia? Justin, what's happening, though, bro?
Wow.
I'm the saltiest Celtics fan alive. I'm kidding. I'm commiserations to all the fans of them. What's going on?
That was a very generous intro, Ekavin. I love the love you have for the Sixers and the Lakers, but no, it's a pleasure to be back sooner than we expected. But it's been an interesting conference finals for sure. As you mentioned, Ekavin, Lakers and Sixers out.
Conference semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just foreshadowing for the best part of the postseason, which would be the next round. I mean, look, let's be honest, guys. This was just a whitewash. These conference finals, for the most part, is a whitewash. We do know who will go through most likely, even in the upcoming clashes. I'm sure we'll get into that. But yeah, look, OKC, pure dominance. And I don't think there was a world the Lakers were ever going to win that series. We talked about it before the show. Even if Luka Doncic was fit at his apex, still OKC just have too much depth, just have too much stardom. It is just a league of their own. And then in terms of Knicks versus the Sixers, my goodness, can I just say the Knicks at the moment, easily the best peak in the postseason so far. I know OKC went 8 wins in a row, but look at the competition they faced. Whereas the Knicks, ever since Game 5 in the Atlanta series, they have been the definition of ruthless, relentless, breaking records every single game, it seems, plummeting teams by 40, 50, 60. It has just been mesmerizing to watch everyone. Brunson, Cat, finally complementing each other like toothpaste and a toothbrush. And then you obviously have the rest of the squad as well, just really blissing anyone they play. So, Ekavin and Justin, I'm sure you had some fulfillment in watching the Sixers getting bounced out of the postseason. Kudos to, and then obviously my Cavs. My Cavs doing all right. Win 2 games at home. Still not getting to watch, but is what it is. And yeah, we will see what happens in Minnesota.
Augustia, I got some bad history to tell you for Donovan Mitchell.
Make sure you guys people, the link is pinned in the chat. Go follow Forever Boston Sports. Support my man over here, as he has been doing for me, has been doing for my channel. Big up Justin every single time, bro. First off, how are you? And then continue what you're saying.
I am good, but here's the bad history for Donovan Mitchell that I need to get off of that I need to tell Augustia.
Go on. Feel free.
I picked on the wrong player. I picked on James Harden for no reason because I thought he wouldn't get to a conference finals. Well, he did. Augustia, you wanna know who the player on the Cavs right now that's never got into the conference finals?
Let me guess. Is it the one you're about to mention? The star man?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yikes.
He's been in playoffs for the Utah Jazz and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and not once in his career has he gone to the conference finals. Not once. So, if he beats Detroit in this series, this will be the first time in his NBA career that he makes the conference finals.
Yeah, that's not a good. That's not a good omen. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't shock you because when you look at the teams he's been on, Utah in the bloodbath, that's the Western Conference. That makes sense. But when you look at the performances, I know he had a 39-point second half, but throughout this postseason, we've scrutinized James Harden. But Justin, I would make the case that Donovan Mitchell has been more of a burden to Cleveland than James Harden. He's been wildly inefficient. Cavs have not had momentum when he's been on the floor, especially in that Raptors series, Game 5 and Game 6 and Game 7. When the Cavs went on runs, it was guys like Sean Merrill. It was bench pieces. It wasn't Donovan Mitchell exploding. So, Justin, I agree with you. It is not a good omen. And when you think about Cavs in this game, in Game 4, they went on a 25-0 run, if I'm not mistaken. What
29-0 run?
29-0 at its peak.
But no, it was 25-0 run, wasn't it? Oh,
It began like that, but it ended up in a 29-0 run.
30-0 run. 30-0 run, I think. 30-0 run.
No, either way. Continue, guys.
Either way, guys, whether it was 15, 20, 25, that's like an insurmountable run. Likely not to be repeated again. So what are the odds the Cavs somehow pull an upset in Detroit? Not much. It just seems like a hell of an outlier for game. That's how I see it. And when you point out the fact that Donovan Mitchell, his credentials aren't that good at this stage, yeah, man, as a Cavs fan, I'd love for this Big Four to explode when it matters most. I just don't see it.
Cool. I think, look, for me, personally, this is the Cavs' best chance to go to the conference finals. This is their best chance, let's be real. Because next year's going to get a lot tougher. And I'm not saying that is because I think the Cavs are a good team. This is not me saying the Cavs are shit. I think the Cavs are a really talented team. I think one of the best teams out there. They may not look like they're the best team out there, but they're one of the best teams out there on paper and by results. Yes, I know the Cavs have taken it to Game 7 in the last series, but the Raptors were always going to be a tough team. I've always said this: Toronto Raptors were always going to be one of these dark horse teams. Like, you just never know how they're gonna come out and play, and they came out and played, right? Detroit are the first seed in the East for a reason. You guys have leveled up the series now. You've leveled the series up. You were 2-0 down against the number 1 seed. You're number 4. You're the number 4 seed, weren't you, in the season? The Cleveland Cavaliers. You've now leveled it up with the number 1 seed, going back to Detroit. Imagine you now go steal a game in Detroit and going back to Cleveland. That could literally win you the series. If you win the next game, I think you win the series. Because that Game 5 is pivotal for you guys. It's pivotal. Like, you need James Harden to shoot lights out. You need Donovan Mitchell to shoot lights out. Sam Merrill off the bench. You need these guys to go ham. You need Evan Mobley to play solid defense on Cade Cunningham. You need Jarrett Allen to go on a block party streak. He needs to have a block party, a block fest, so whatever you want to call it. He needs to have that. You need your defense to turn up. Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen. Who's the other one that plays for you guys? Who's your who's the other guy who's the 5th player?
See, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Dennis Schroeder.
Max Strus.
Is it Max Strus that plays for you guys over Dennis Schroeder?
Yeah, he started. I think he started in Game 7, was it?
Whoever it is, Schroeder, Strus,
Jalen Tyson. It's Dean Wade. It's Dean Wade.
Okay, Dean Wade. You need these guys to go off.
100%.
Shoot lights out. Like, you need to have a 3-point clinic if you want to beat the Detroit Pistons. Sometimes, one thing with Detroit, I've always said this, they're one of those teams that one of the most fiercest teams on the glass. They're one of the most dangerous teams to play against on the glass. They just grab rebound after rebound after rebound. They're a rebounding demon. They're one of the most physical, toughest teams to play, especially on the offensive end and the defensive end. So, like I said, you need to exploit the 3-point line. Mitchell needs to go off. Harden needs to go off. It's the spotlight's on them too. Mitchell and Harden, they have to turn up. If they don't turn up, this is going to go 7. If you win, like I said, I'm going to say it again. If you win Game 5 in Detroit, I think you're going to a Game 6 and you're winning in 6. I think you'll beat the Pistons in 6. That's only if you win tomorrow. If you don't win tomorrow, I think you will win Game 6 and it will go to Game 7, which that could be anyone's game really. So I think like I said, it all depends if Cleveland wins tomorrow or not. If they do win, they're going to 6 and winning in 6. If you don't win, it's going to 7 in Detroit, and I think it's whoever's game. So that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, man. Sorry, go.
Real quick, Justin, I'm sure you'll have thoughts on this. I agree with you, Ekin, and I think if I was to bottom line it, whoever wins Game 5 will win the series. So if the Pistons win tomorrow, I think they'll win in 7. If the Cavs win tomorrow, the Cavs will win in 6. That's how I see the series going forward. And to double down, Ekman, I agree. Pistons defense is nitty and gritty. They want to force you. They want to make you succumb and suffer. It's like Djokovic. Do you remember that John McEnroe quote with Djokovic? First he takes his legs, then he takes the soul. That's like the Detroit Pistons. They just wear and tear you down. And the Cavs, their offense is very... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, momentum team with intensity on steroids. Whereas the Cavs, on the other hand, predominantly relying on ISO offense. So Donovan Mitchell and James Harden have to be at their peak. They cannot have more turnovers than assists. They have to also explode. Mitchell has to have a game above 30. Harden has to have a 20-10 game. It has to be lights out, the best basketball of their career. Otherwise, you won't be going to the next round. And in terms of that, yeah, I think the home court advantage, like Justin will probably say, that's been big. So if you can steal one on the road, you will win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, 100%. Speaking about the Cavs, obviously, you spoke about the series. Do you want to talk about the series still? Or you want to talk about another series? I think we have another series to get to.
0-5 on the road, 6-0 at home. I'm sorry, if you're gonna win this conference semifinal, you need to break the curse of losing on the road.
Yeah, that's why I said whoever wins tomorrow will win the series.
Because listen to this: if the Cleveland Cavaliers win this series, the New York Knicks will host the conference finals. If the Detroit Pistons win the series, Detroit will host the conference finals. If you're Cleveland, you need to win on the road, and you need to win on the road now. Because if you don't, then you can kiss Madison Square Garden goodbye.
Yeah. I hear you.
Unfortunately.
Whoever wins... Okay, if Cleveland win, the disadvantage to that is they'll have... The Knicks will have home court advantage. If the Pistons win, the Pistons will have home court advantage. So it favors Detroit more, if you ask me. I think this favors Detroit more because Detroit will use their home court advantage to get to the finals if they have to. Because you might say the Knicks are playing the best basketball in the NBA right now. I completely understand your opinion. I hear that completely. But at the same time, Detroit are the number 1 seed for a reason. They've beaten the Knicks already. The Sixers, let's just be honest, they didn't shoot well against the Knicks. The Knicks shot very well against the Knicks. The Sixers never shot well against the Knicks.
Well, they shot themselves out of the playoffs nicely.
They did. They shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and in the heart, probably.
And they got themselves out of the playoffs. They only turned up against Boston because Boston had no defense. We had no defense. Our defense didn't show up in the first round. Lots of concentration. It could have been the Celtics Knicks semifinals, but do you know what it is? With the Sixers, right? They just have to shoot well. If they shot well, if they shot how they did in the first round and played a bit better defense, then it'd have been a tighter series. But the thing is, the Sixers don't have that amazing defense. Joel Embiid out injured again. He's out injured again. He didn't play game. Was it game 4? Didn't he? He didn't play.
No, he didn't play game 2. He played games 3 and 4.
Okay. But that's what it is. Like your star man not showing up in a game where he needs to show up.
The only player that did not play in games 3 and 4 was OG Anunoby, and they still won.
The Knicks didn't need OG Anunoby to win the series. They had Deuce McBride. They had Mikal Bridges, one of the most underrated players in the league. I rate Mikal Bridges highly. He's a solid 2-way player. Brunson,
Josh Hart,
Cat spacing the floor.
I'm sorry to say this as a Celtics fan. I know we hate New York, but this is the Knicks.
It's fine.
This is the Knicks' best chance to get to the finals.
I agree. If they don't make the finals this year, I doubt they make it next year. Because let's just be honest, there's someone that's coming back next year, and it's not Boston. I'm not saying Boston. You were all forgetting who it is. It's Indiana, because they're going to come back with a better draft pick, with a better squad, with Tyrese Halliburton coming back fit, Pascal Siakam. You know what they do in the playoffs. They're going to turn up. So the Pacers are going to come back next year. Whether they finish high in the East, where they finish in the East, I don't care. The Pacers are just good enough to finish where they are. You know what I'm trying to say? The Pacers are good enough to make it far in the playoffs, whether they finish lower or higher in the table. So the Pacers are going to come back next year. The Celtics will get stronger, right? And I know I'm a biased Celtics fan, but we are going to get stronger. It's just what it is. We will get stronger next season, I hope. You know, we will make better trades that will improve this team next season. You know, build around the Jays and everything like that. Who else will be there? You know, hell, I'll even say the Sixers might even improve next year. They already have a decent core to build around. If they had Joel Embiid for majority of the season, I doubt they finish in the play-in. I doubt they are in the play-in. I think they would have finished in what you call comfortably the top 5 seed. They could have finished in the top 5. I still think the Knicks will be a great team next season. Don't get me wrong, but there'll be a lot more competition than what there is now. I don't see Detroit being the number 1 seed again next year, but they will still be a top. But I still think they'll be a top 4, top 5 seed. They've shown that they can still be a top 4, top 5 seed. I doubt they'll be number 1 seed next year, right? So this is what sorry. Justin makes a really good point. This is the Knicks' best chance to make the finals. This is their best chance. If they don't make the finals this year, I doubt they make it next year. Because the Pacers have the number in the playoffs. The Pacers will come back stronger. The Celtics will come back stronger. I know we lost the next 2 seasons ago or last season. I know, but at the same time, teams can improve. You know, teams can get better. Hell, even Cleveland might even get better. Who knows? Cleveland might just say, all right, you know what? We're done with Kenny Atkinson. Let's bring in a new head coach. I will improve the system. And they might even do that because they have the solid core around them to do it. So that's what I'm saying. The Knicks have to make the finals this year because there'll be a lot more competition next year. Giannis is leaving Milwaukee, so Milwaukee will be in will be in turmoil. Who knows who's going to go to Milwaukee or whatnot? You know, they might trade the picks from Milwaukee. Giannis might go to a top team next year, a contending team next year, or maybe the East, or even goes to the West. If the Knicks get Giannis, okay, I will put the Knicks up there. If they don't get Giannis, the team that has Giannis, along with the superstar, will be the favorite to potentially win the chip next season. That's what I think.
Yeah,
so a lot's at stake, guys. A lot is at stake for the Knicks. And I might even say that as a Celtics fan. I'm not. I'm just saying this because I think it's truly their one and only chance to make the finals. I really do. I personally really do. But that's what I think. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I concur completely. And I want to double down and say I think there are only 3 teams that probably won't get better next season in the East. That's the Nets, that's the Bulls, and that's the Bucks. Everyone else will take a step up. Of course, Cleveland, we put them in the unknown category as well. Apart from that, every single team, like even the Hornets, the run they were on towards the end of the season, they are assimilating together. The Charlotte Hornets actually might be a team. The Orlando Magic, by the way, we expected them to be we expected them to be a top seed coming into the season with
Atlanta
new coach.
as well. I gotta say Atlanta as well.
Sorry, I was just going to mention it. And also Washington Wizards, the number 1 pick, Anthony Davis, Trae Young, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr. The Washington Wizards, if they can get on a floor, they will make it damn difficult for this New York Knicks to do anything they did against the 76ers.
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn are still in a rebuilding phase.
I mean,
they have guys.
With the draft pick they have as well, they could be up there. I mean, Jordy Candace is a head coach.
Sure, and I don't want to mock or mock the other team from New York, but I don't really see them matching up in any sense against the Knicks. Like, it just seems so lopsided. It's like men against babies. So apart from New York, apart from Milwaukee, apart from Chicago, I think every team will be better next year. So it's not even the contenders that come in. It's not even your Magics. It's not even your Bostons. It's also when the overall competition is more difficult.
Toronto.
Exactly, with experience, right? They showed that they have flair. They showed they have fire this year, and they have quality. Boston will be contenders, 100%. So I think for New York it gets tougher, but otherwise I agree with you guys. This is not only Justin. You made a tremendous point. It's not only their best chance to win a championship. It's their best team this century by some distance. This is the best.
Not to cut you off, Augustia, but look at this team: Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, Jose Alvarado that they got from the New Orleans Pelicans.
That's the most underrated trade I think they've ever made, honestly. What a fucking trade.
Those top 6 guys right there, easily.
Deuce McBride as well.
Deuce McBride. Yep.
Mikal
Who else?
Bridges.
Oh, I
I
already
mean,
said Mikal Bridges.
OG Anunoby has played like the
Oh,
best.
yep.
OG
OG
has
and
played like the best third option in this whole playoffs.
OG
If I'm not
and
mistaken, he's been
Anunoby.
absolutely close to 20
Yep.
10 a game. Nuts.
Yep. So those 8 players right there, guys. I'm sorry, but that's an Eastern Conference championship team.
Yeah, but I don't want to interrupt you,
That's the
Justin
season.
Nickerson. We forgot 3 players that would be 6 and 7s, number 6 and 7 on almost every team. Jordan Clarkson, don't forget, he's a baller.
Yep,
He can
yep,
score the
yep,
ball
yep.
really well.
Really
Jeremy Sochan as well, and even Landry Shamet. So the Knicks, I think they have 11 players that
11
can win,
players
that can help contribute to a championship victory. This is not their best chance to get out of the East; it's to win the whole damn thing.
Jordan Clarkson, of course, coming from the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. And the Cavaliers, of course. So
I don't want to sound like I'm comparing or anything. I still think this team is one of the best teams I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
The Knicks are reminding me of the 2024 Boston Celtics in a way, because they're shooting lights up from 3. Let's just admit it, guys. And I know it sounds really weird to say as a Celtics fan, because our Celtics, for me, that's one of the best teams I've ever watched personally. Like, just in general, the net ratings I've watched them from.
Hey, Kevin, can I make a comparison for a quick second?
Sure. I'll finish this point, then I'll let you go. Yeah, I was just saying that the 3-point shooting from the Celtics that season, unreal, right? The Knicks, what they're doing right now is a bit of a copy of what the Celtics are doing.
That's exactly
the best team ever made in the playoffs. Sorry, go on.
That's exactly the comparison I was going to make. The 2024 championship team to this New York Knicks team. That's exactly the comparison I was going to make.
There's a bit of sound coming from your end, by the way, Justin, I think.
Because if you think about look at our championship run, 4-1 against the Orlando Magic, right?
Yeah.
4-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. 4-0 against the Indiana Pacers. 4-1 against the Dallas Mavericks. Look at the Knicks playoff run so far. 4-1 against the Atlanta Hawks. 4-0 against the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm sorry. Did they clone the Boston Celtics?
I think they did, honestly. I think they did. By the way, Justin, I'm hearing something from your end, I think. I don't know if it's can you try to mute yourself just to see if it's from your end?
To do what?
Can you mute yourself just quickly, real quick? Yeah, it is from his end. Yeah, it's a bit of like a buzz. I don't know if it's from your end or something. Just quickly double check that.
Is it better now or?
Yeah, that's fine now. That's fine. Yeah, it's good now. So yeah, sorry. Continue your point, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
What I was saying is, did they clone the Boston Celtics? Because I went over the playoff run that we had: 4-1 against the Magic, 4-1 against the Cavaliers, 4-0 against the Pacers,
and 4-1 against the Miami Heat.
4-1 against the Miami Heat. Yeah, sorry.
But you can still say Orlando because we beat them last season as well in the first round. So
either way, it's a Florida team.
Yeah.
4-1 against the Heat, 4-1 against the Cavs, 4-0 against the Pacers, 4-1 against the Mavericks. Augusta, 4-1 against the Hawks and 4-0 against the Sixers. This Knicks is the 2024 version of the Boston Celtics.
I hate to admit it. I think it looks like it, but at the same time, I still think the Celtics are better because they've gotten over the line. We can't say they're like it yet, but the only thing is the Knicks haven't gone over the line. If the Knicks get over the line, we can compare. But for me, as of right now, we can only say that it looks like it. We can't say it's better or it's just like it, even though it's similar. It's similar, but they haven't gone over the line, so we can't really 100% compare. Whereas with the Celtics, we've already gotten over the line, and we've already won the championship, so we can already say that team is already one of the best we've ever seen, net rating-wise. But yeah.
I agree, Justin. I think that comparison is very canny. And I agree with you guys, but there's one big difference. The Boston Celtics didn't have the Oklahoma City Thunder in their way. That's the difference. If there was no OKC, the Knicks would be heavy favorites for this championship, the same way the Celtics were. OKC are just another historic all-time team as well. So when we have both of those going head-to-head, unfortunately, like you said, Ekavin, with the lack of championship experience, with the lack of experience in the NBA Finals, because this New York hasn't been to an NBA Finals in decades, by the way.
OG Anunoby won the championship with the
Toronto Raptors.
Toronto
But-
Raptors.
But still, there will be it won't be as smooth sailing as the Boston Celtics, unfortunately, in the final. But I agree, archetype wise, man for man, how the series are unfolding. Yeah, they are the new incarnation of the Celtics. And look, I would love it. Again, I don't want OKC to win this championship just because I want there to be competition. I want there to be yet another winner. I think we've had a different.
I want San Antonio personally.
I would love it if the Spurs won, but I think matchup wise,
I wouldn't mind Minnesota either. I like it.
I mean, for sure, but they just look too thin compared to all the other teams we're talking about. Matchup wise, the Knicks and OKC would be a generational finals, by the way. You have Brunson versus Shea. You have Cat versus Chet Holmgren. If you just go through the list of players, you have OG Anunoby versus J-Dub. You have Mikal Bridges versus Lou Dortz and Kassan Wallace. Add Josh Hart into the mix. Add AJ Mitchell into the mix. It is literally man for man. They have similar depth. They have similar quality up top as well. And also, again, these guys can go 10 deep. They can go big time. They can explode. Their defenses are draining as well. Their offenses are overpowering as well. They can shoot lights out from the three. They can play tough and rough when they need to. It is like such a good archetypal matchup. My only concern would be hopefully the Knicks don't get pushed to 7 in the conference finals. Hopefully they have a smooth sailing conference finals and they are fully fit for OKC. Because if the Knicks are fully fit for OKC, I'm going to make the claim, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I know everybody has been saying whoever wins between OKC and San Antonio will win the championship. Don't count out the Knicks because they have the assets to do it. They have the ability, and they sure as hell have shown the mentality to overcome.
I'm gonna say this: if San Antonio gets to the conference finals, which they should, because
easily,
I think that's the only team that pushes Oklahoma City to a 7 games in the West.
Agreed.
So if that happens, then it doesn't matter if the Knicks versus the Cavs or the Pistons go to 7, because if the Western Conference Finals goes to 7, I gotta say both teams are gonna be tied going into the finals.
True.
Here.
But
no, but at the same time, momentum though, momentum carry them on.
Everyone
plays every 2 days. The thing is, everyone plays every 2 days, and that's something that I feel like.
Right, but here's my thing. If the Knicks end the next series in 5 games, and Oklahoma City finally goes to 7 games, advantage New York Knicks in the NBA Finals.
I don't think so. There's no advantage anyone depending on the schedule, because don't forget, bro. At the same time, we can talk about rest and whatnot. Sometimes rest can be detrimental to your momentum and adrenaline.
Rust.
Because, rust. If you don't play for like a whole week, and some teams are just playing, all right, we just played a few days ago, we're still shooting well, we can do that 4 days later whilst they've had 7 days off. Rust can kick in, and that could be detrimental because OKC played. Look, I get it. Like OKC, they swept 2 teams in a row, and like that's because they've got other players that can shoot threes. They got other players that can be consistent. Chet, they've got Jalen Williams, they've got SGA, they have Hartenstein, Hartenstein and Alex Caruso as well, and also another player I forgot to mention, by the way, who's been so underrated this playoffs, AJ Mitchell. He's been a baller this playoffs, man. No one's giving enough credit because he plays with SGA. He's in the shadow of SGA. This guy has been balling in the playoffs. AJ Mitchell, wow, solid player. Honestly, I just have to give credit to him, man, because I know we're talking about OKC, I know we're talking about the champions here, like the current champions, the potential going back to back. But AJ Mitchell, the guy that they have right now, bro, credit where it's due. Balling out when they need it most. Because SGA went 1 for 4 from 3 today. Mitchell turned up. And he's solid all around, both defense and offense.
I think Jared.
Blue Dort as well.
I think Jared McCain is happy to be on the Western Conference Finals team.
Jared McCain. I think the Sixers should have never traded Jared McCain. I don't know what they were thinking about. That
But
was really
but
stupid.
but to be fair, if we just talk about style of play as a player profile, McCain fits really well with OKC. Like he has such a specific skill set. He's not the most complete player. He's just he's a 3-point specialist at his core.
No, but
and
he
can
had
get you
most scoring Sixers, and that's what the Sixers missed against the Knicks. They needed more consistent scoring, and McCain would have added that because McCain before last season,
yeah.
was balling
Sure.
out before the really bad injury picked up.
I agree with you, Ekevin. I think he
That's
definitely
the rookie of the year as well last year. He was in the contention for rookie of the year last year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ekevin, he would have helped. But at the same time, when you're at OKC and when defenses have to prioritize other people, whereas when you're at 76ers, there is more of an emphasis to target you instead of other players. I just think OKC is like the best natural spot for him. You know, he's not focused on as much. He has more freedom to do what he has to do. He only has to be a 3-point specialist. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to distribute or do much. So I agree. But yeah, going to your point, I think in OKC Knicks finals would be cinema. I think it'd be the best finals we've had since maybe Cleveland versus Golden State. Am I crazy to say that?
No, I don't. Well, okay, Cleveland,
Golden State, Toronto. No,
wait. So who are you saying? You're saying OKC Knicks, right?
it could be. It has the makings of something.
I don't think it's OKC Knicks. I think it'd be Spurs Knicks, because the Spurs have already played the Knicks in the NBA Cup finals. Already don't really mean much, but at the same time, they've already faced off against each other. And Wemby, like you've got Wemby playing defense, offense. You know, a bit. I'm not saying he's LeBron James, but he's that version of like going offense, defense, making blocks. You know, chasing down blocks. You know, shooting threes when it matters, turning out for his team, being that lead guy. The Spurs would remind me of the Cavs slightly, and then the Knicks could remind me of, because the 3-point demon team, like the Warriors, the system, the Warriors. So that could be it could be Spurs Knicks for me rather than OKC, because OKC have a complete team. The Cavs didn't have a complete team. The Cavs had Kyrie and LeBron, whereas they had good role players around them that could potentially win them a championship. The Spurs, they have Fox and Wemby, right? Fox and Wemby, plus a few really good role players around them, like Cornet, like they've got Stephon Castle, you know, these guys that can help shoot, and even Justin and Champagne as well, you know. Whereas with the Knicks, the whole team is shooting buckets of threes. With the Warriors, the whole team was shooting buckets of threes. Iguodala was shooting buckets of threes. Clay was shooting buckets of threes. Even Draymond Green was scoring 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? So I personally, for me, I would lean more towards the Spurs, whereas Spurs versus Knicks. If you're going to compare that, because like I said, OKC have a complete team. The Cavs didn't have a complete team, personally for me. So that's what I think.
And I agree. If we're comparing profile of team, you're right. Spurs more similar to Cavs than OKC is to Cavs. I agree with you. I just meant in terms of pure cinema and entertaining finals to watch as a neutral. I think it would be the most entertaining finals since Cleveland versus Golden State, because most finals since then have been a whitewash. You knew LA was obviously Golden State had a bunch of injuries. It was finally good to break down the golden goose of Golden State, but it was an injury-plagued finals. Then 2020, the bubble season, we knew the Lakers were going to win. It was just too dominant. Bucks versus Suns was entertaining. Yeah, you know what? Milwaukee versus Phoenix was a pretty underrated finals because you didn't know which way it was going to go, and it took some heroic plays from the likes of Drew Holiday and Giannis, that 50-point game, to get the championship. So maybe Bucks versus Phoenix. Then in 22, it was Golden State, Boston. Decent series. I expect this one to be better. Nuggets versus Miami. This one would be better. Boston versus Mavs. Of course, this one will be better. And last season, OKC Pacers was good, but this might be better than that. So, I think we are the NBA, especially with the market of New York. Let's not forget, this is probably the market in the NBA that needs an NBA Finals more than anybody else. Boston been there, LA been there, but New York has the attention of the entire world, the entire sporting world, the entire celebrity world. Timothée Chalamet is there all the time. Athletes, Roger Federer is there all the time. So I think New York versus Wemby or New York versus OKC, the two best teams in the league versus the best team versus the best player in the league, it would be your biggest NBA Finals in over a decade.
Yeah, we've spoken about all the we spoke with the OKC Lakers series already, kinda in a way. We spoke about we haven't spoken about the Spurs Minnesota though. That one we haven't talked about that one first. Let's go over that one, and we'll talk about the rest of the.
I just want to add one more thing to this. I really do.
Go on.
Before we move
Please,
on.
please. Yeah, go on.
Whoever makes the NBA Finals, okay? If it's OKC and the Knicks, if it's San Antonio and the Knicks, if it's Cleveland and OKC, if it's Cleveland, San Antonio, or if it's Detroit, OKC, or Detroit, San Antonio, please, for the love of God, let's not have a repeat of Game 7 of the NBA Finals where their star player goes down with an ACL injury and is out for the rest of the season.
I don't want to think about that, honestly.
I don't either, but I just don't want that to happen.
No, I don't know that. I'll be honest with you. I don't touch wood. It won't happen. Touch wood. I don't want to see shit like that happen again. You know what I'm saying? But we spoke about OKC Lakers in a way. We spoke about the Cavs Pistons series. We spoke about the Knicks Sixers. Let's talk about another series. All right, we haven't spoken about Minnesota versus Spurs. Obviously, we spoke about it briefly backstage. Wemby got ejected in Game 4, and the Spurs lost by fine margins. I mean, the Spurs were leading pretty much the most of the game, and then the Wolves came back and took the lead. But then the Spurs lost Wemby to an ejection, and that was a detriment to their Game 4 aspirations because they imagined they would have Wemby in that Game 4. I think they would have been 3-1 up. I think they go 3-1 up in my opinion. Honestly, I was thinking, where the hell is Wemby? I tuned in late. I was thinking, where the fuck is Wemby? Oops! I found he got ejected from the game. I was like, for what? And then I saw he elbowed, what was it? Jaden McDaniels, was it in the face? I forgot who he elbowed in the face. Was it McDaniels?
Nas Reed.
No, Nas Reed. Sorry, Nas Reed. Yeah. Bro, unbelievable. I mean, like, look, sometimes you don't know when the elbow will just will go straight into the face when you play basketball. I'm trying to say. I personally think for me, was that a deserved ejection? I think that was a flagrant one. Call me crazy, but I think that's flagrant one. I don't think it's flagrant two. I don't know if he intentionally elbowed him though, because you know when someone's trying to grab hold of you, right, and you're trying to get him off you, the elbow accidentally goes to hit him. I think that's what happened. I don't think it was an intentional elbow to the face. Personally, for me, I don't know what you guys saw. I need to go back and see the highlights again.
Well, apparently the NBA didn't think it was serious, and he's not suspended for Game 5 or anything worse.
He didn't get suspended for it. Like, it wasn't like a serious, flagrant, it wasn't like a flagrant sort of suspension. It didn't lead to suspension. So I was thinking, did he really intentionally do it then? Did he really intentionally elbow Nas Reed to the face?
I don't think he did. I don't think he saw him.
I don't think, cause, like I said, Justin, when someone's trying to grab hold of you and your elbow accidentally goes to hit someone in the face, it's unintentional, isn't it? Like, I don't think it was intentional. He intentionally elbowed him in the face. I don't want to go see say about this. I personally think it was unintentional. What do you think of this? I think it was unintentional, bro.
Look, if I can't show you someone recording the play, right? You'll get copyrighted, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I won't.
Unless you go find a video of someone recording it from the stands, then I'd be like, all right, I don't think copyright for that.
Yeah, I haven't found that one yet. But if you were to ask to break it down play by play, basically Wemby gets a rebound, he hugs onto the ball, then there is Nas Reed behind him. It is. What movement could he possibly be trying to make if he's holding the ball with one hand and elbowing that way? Whether he had any malice, I'm not sure, but it wasn't a natural movement. So, again, I'm not accusing Wemby of trying to elbow Nas Reed, but at the same time, it wasn't an accident or a natural movement. So, I think to me an ejection makes sense. Given the precedent the NBA sets across the league, it makes sense.
But at the same time, like, Nas Reed was not he was trying to grab hold of Wemby, and Wemby was trying to get him off him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Which would only strengthen Nas Reed's case, because if that's the reason, then of course it just looks like Wemby in the heat of the moment moved into Nas Reed and elbowed him in the face, because it just wasn't a natural movement.
But Wemby was facing the other way. if you look at it, Wemby's facing the other way, and then his elbow goes to hit him around.
No. His as his elbow hits Nasrid, I'm just looking at the footage now. His face also turns to look at him. So, I'll send it to you. You just check.
I'll look at it, but then I'll probably
check.
I don't know if
Check Twitter, by the way, because I just sent it to you. But if you were to ask me if I had to pick a camp, was it intentional? Was it not intentional? Looked more intentional than not. That's it. Like I said, he grabs a rebound. Okay, at that moment in time, either you were going up for a shot, you're posting up for a shot, or you're trying to pass out to give someone a 3-point opportunity. He didn't do either of it. He turned his body into Nasrid and then elbowed him. Unnatural movement. That's not the normal trajectory of an NBA player trying to do either of the two. So, yeah, in my opinion, I think it was warranted just based on the standard we've set in the past. Of course, the NBA has softened up a lot. It's become a lot more PG friendly, just like the WWE. We're no longer Attitude Era necessarily. It's no longer the Jordan rules time. But in terms of today's game, to me, 100%. Ejection makes sense. Wemby, Victor, look, I think you are the greatest defensive player of all time in terms of your build, and you will go down as one of the best players of all time, but you can't be doing that in a playoff game.
Sorry, I was on mute there. Sorry, Justin, you have anything to add to that, or do you want to move on?
Spurs in 6.
I think Wemby doesn't go. If he doesn't get ejected, then I think Spurs will win that game.
The only series that I see going 7 in this playoffs is Cavs Pistons.
I think that's the only series 7. I think I agree with you. I think Spurs in 6. I think Wemby plays full games in both. I think they'll win the series. I was a bit confused as to why Mitch Johnson didn't call a timeout when the Spurs could hold the ball. I was thinking, did they not have a timeout to use? I'm like, why did they not call a timeout? I was thinking, like, why did Mitch Johnson call a timeout? You could literally advance the ball. You had the ball in your hands. Bro, they literally had the ball. The Spurs got the rebound. They had the ball. I was questioning. I literally was looking at the NBC, the NBC timeout thing. I was like, Spurs have 2 timeouts. Why isn't Mitch Johnson calling a timeout? I'm like, bro, you've costed your team there in game 2. Mitch Johnson, great young head coach, but the guy costed his team with that decision, man. Don't call a timeout. You costed your team big time, man. You had 2 timeouts to burn. I was shocked as to why he didn't call one there, unless it was an error where I didn't see them. They missed a timeout or whatnot. But yeah, I think the Spurs could have won that game, man, if it wasn't for the timeout thing. But look, at the end of the day, the Spurs are. I think it's 2-2. I think the series will go back to Minnesota, and the Spurs will win in 6. I think Spurs in 6. I think, look, and Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, great series so far for the Wolves. So far, great playoff run by them, but I think they fall into the hands of Wemby and the Spurs, and the rest of De'Aaron Fox and them. What do you say? What do you guys say? The rest of the series.
Garcia, you want to go first on that one?
Yeah.
It's yours.
Put it this way. If the Spurs have Wemby on the floor, and if they don't commit over 20 turnovers, and if they don't make 6 threes in the entirety of a game, they should win. In terms of average, the Spurs average is just much higher than the Minnesota Timberwolves average. And when Wemby plays, the game is completely different, right? The Timberwolves with their Twin Towers, they have a certain type of build they can defend easily. But when Wemby's on the floor, it's like the Spurs are a cone. They play almost a different style. Whereas when it's your small guards, when it's your Harpers, when it's your Castles, when it's your Foxes, it's a different game. And there's too much versatility. There's versatility defensively for San Antonio, versatility offense, many different variations you can play. So, yeah, I just think the Spurs overall, if they don't have historically awful turnovers, if they don't forget how to shoot the ball, they will win the series. And I think that's pretty standard to do, given they've had 2, not 1, but 2 outlier games in the series. So I have Spurs in 6.
The thing is, Minnesota tend to attack the basket quite often, so it suits Wemby's game. You put Wemby into the basket, you ain't scoring past him. Let's be honest. You ain't scoring past him. Obviously, there's been many cases where he might have gotten away with like a goaltend or something. Obviously, Wemby, he's 7 foot. You try a floater against the guy, it'll be a controversial call where the refs say it looks like a goaltend, but it's not a goaltend. The guy's just that tall, you know. So yeah, I think you have to be very athletic to get past Wemby. You have to be very athletic like Ant to get past Wemby. So I think Ant has a good chance, but at the same time, I'm going to say Wemby and Spurs in 6. Yeah, I stick by my guns.
Yeah, and just real quick before Justin
Yeah, go
goes, I agree, and I think the Timberwolves out rebounded the Spurs by 8 in Game 4. And of course, if Wemby plays that whole game, that doesn't happen. Wemby alone nullifies that gap. So I think Wemby dominates in the paint. The Spurs have too much offense going on. The only thing I'd say is limit the turnovers. Also, make sure you learn how to shoot again. Don't forget that. Third, don't let it go down to the buzzer, because I think the Timberwolves have the best clutch performance in these playoffs so far. I think their field goal percentage in the final minute is 47%, which is very, very good come down the stretch. So be careful about that. Just blow them out is what I would say.
Yeah. The Timberwolves are a very good clutch team. You know. But imagine this scenario, right? This NBA Finals would feed families. Think about it. Karl Anthony Towns versus Julius Randle. Knicks versus Timberwolves NBA Finals. Think about it. Just think about it. Imagine the Knicks trade away Julius Randle to Minnesota, only for him to go win the champ. Imagine he wins the championship in that game, bro.
And
imagine the Timberwolves with the championship.
And Dante DiVincenzo cheering on from the bench.
Dante DiVincenzo as well. Yeah, man, insane, bro. That would be funny. That would be hilarious. Not gonna lie to you. But anyways, we've given all the playoff talk. Let's go quickly to a couple off-season, well, not off-season news, but off-season for some now. You know, what do you want to start with first? You want to start with the one on the left or the one on the right in the title? What's the bigger news for you?
Well, the biggest news is, of course, LeBron James, right? If there is even 1% credibility in that, he's the biggest news, right? LeBron James is the biggest superstar the NBA has had this century by some distance. He's been here for 23 years. He's won 4 championships. We all know his resume. 4 finals MVPs, highest scorer ever. Perhaps in terms of pure ability, the smartest to ever grace the game, the most versatile to grace the game. He can play 1 through 5 as well. He is LeBron James. Again, I think a lot of us, because we have comparisons with Michael Jordan, with Kobe Bryant, with Bill Russell, with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, we get drowned up in these comparisons and just forget what LeBron has done, who he is as a player, is unrivaled. There won't ever be another LeBron James. Michael Jordan, we saw through Kobe Bryant. We've seen descendants of all legends. LeBron is just an irreplaceable specimen. Wherever you rank him all time, his archetype as a player, his mentality, his longevity, his ability. I mean, 23 years as an all-star is just unfathomable, by the way. And he has more playoff wins than almost teams have been in the playoffs since he started his career. So, again, if LeBron James is to retire, it will be one of the craziest days, one of the craziest days in sports history for sure. I mean, the guy played in the end, was drafted to Cleveland before I was born, 4 years before I was born almost, which is just crazy. So, yeah, all I have to say is congratulations, LeBron James. You've had perhaps the greatest career an NBA player could ever dream for, beyond their wildest dreams. And do I think he retires? I think for the first time, I give it a 40-60 chance he does retire, because if I'm not mistaken, he did say year 23, that was his aim to be his final year. And I know he says he discusses it with his family, but Savannah, his wife, wants him to retire now as well. And the only way, and the only way for me he comes back next year is if that Bryce thing, if there is any credibility that he wants to play with Bryce, and Bryce is getting drafted to the Lakers, maybe. I don't see it. 2, if there's an avenue to a championship. I don't see LeBron playing another season if he's going to be in the Lakers team that doesn't look like they can compete. So I think either LeBron has to have a clear championship opportunity, a clear purpose to play with his kids. Otherwise, I think he's gone. I don't see the incentive to come back.
Guys?
Hit it.
Brandon Clark passed away.
What?
Brandon Clark just passed away at the age of 29.
Which?
From the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh shit! What happened?
I don't know, but he just passed away at the age of 29.
Oh man, nah, Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Condolences to his family and everything. It's still a young basketball player. In his prime. Still playing at the highest level. It's sad. It's really, really sad, man. And I don't like to bring up comparisons, but the NFL also had some recent tragic incidents as well. Young players, going, and it's never nice. Never nice to see. You're literally at the peak of not a peak of your powers, but you're literally at the highest point in your career, and you end up just I don't even know what to say because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to say things that might you know it might ruin my name, but rest in peace. Condolences to his family and my Brendan Clark. Honestly, this is really, really sad and really, really, really heartbreaking to hear. Prayers up, man. Prayers up to him and his family. Anyone else wanna send a message?
Yeah, I first of all, thoughts and prayers to Brandon Clark, his friends, his family, the Minnesota Timberwolves, everyone that knows him and supports him. Thoughts and
Grizzlies.
prayers. And
Grizzlies.
really sorry, and be beyond not even just about being an NBA player. For a parent to put their kid down, that is the most unimaginable form of tragedy. So, thoughts and prayers. I can't imagine the loss and the grief that everyone surrounding him will be dealing with. So, rest in peace. And to my understanding, we don't know the cause of death right now, but whatever it is, yeah, loss of words. You don't know how to react. And thoughts and prayers. I just hope everyone, the Memphis Grizzlies, takes care of his family, and the NBA gives them all the support needed because times like this, everyone needs to come together.
100%, bro. Justin, you wanna send a message?
This just goes to show you that tomorrow is not promised. Look. This just proves it. Like, god damn, he was 1 year away from being 30. Like, nah, bro, this sucks.
He was literally in this prime. Like he's still balling up the Grizzlies. Like they were gonna build a solid team around him. Like not around just around him, but him, Moran, all the guys that they're gonna be drafting. Then the Grizzlies are gonna have a good young team. It's a huge shame, man. It's such a huge shame. We don't expect it for this to happen, but it happens for a reason, and it's really sad, guys. And honestly, like really, really sad. It's just heartbreaking to see such things like this. Really heartbreaking. Really, really, truly heartbreaking.
Yeah, we're sending out all our love from AN Sports, all our love to the Memphis Grizzlies and everyone that knows him. Yeah, we have to do our best to carry his legacy and who he was as a person, right? To honor the man, and yeah, it's just
Yeah, they're not giving they're not giving anything away. But apparently, from 1 month ago, it said that he was arrested for drugs or something.
Obviously, we're not speculating as to
No,
the reason.
no, but
it's a TMZ report.
that was a TMZ report, yeah.
So we'll let we'll respectfully allow
Yeah, we'll
other
if we
channels
get if we get information on it, we'll bring it here, but we're not going to speculate. But
AN Sports will not be spreading any news or
no.
what happened. We'll just be talking about it as out of respect.
I do want to get
why, if anyone wants to ask us for the reason why he passed away, we're not going to give you that reason respectfully. We can't give you that reason. We're not a news channel, so like I said, thoughts and prayers to his family and everything. That's all we can say, and that's all.
I do want to get to the LeBron thing because I didn't mean to bring sadness into the show.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Justin. I'm okay with it completely.
I think this is the last year.
I'm not okay with the news that happened. So I'm not okay with obviously Brandon Clark passing away or whatnot. I'm not okay. I don't feel okay about it. But because I feel for his family, you know, but I don't want to hear such news, but yeah, we can respectfully move on to back to the NBA talk.
I do I do think this is LeBron's last year in Los Angeles. I really do. I think he goes back to Cleveland to finish up his career there. Either that or he retires because I can't see LeBron being on the New York Knicks, especially with this team that they have. So that's all I'm gonna say. And if this is LeBron's last go around, then good job, LeBron. Congrats, LeBron. Still, fuck the Lakers, but enjoy Cancun.
Final hurrah.
Yeah.
It has to be. I think this is
Yeah.
going to be his last year. I think he'll put up I think he'll go to the Kobe year. And when I say Kobe year, I mean year 24. I think he does play year 24. I think he will. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't play year 24. I mean, Bryce is going to be drafted this year. So Bryce, LeBron, Bronny. LeBron will probably wait for Bryce and just probably retire. I think he'll play with both his sons and go. And yeah, it's set off in the sun. You know, break all the records you need to break. Use your last year to finish for all the records you haven't done. You know, set new ones if you have to. I think LeBron should really play one more year. I think retire properly. This is not the way. I don't think this is the way to go out. You cannot go out. You cannot go out in a retirement. Sorry, I can't even talk right now. So sorry. I'm saying that you can't go out and retire after getting swept. I think you got to come back stronger. And I personally don't think he should play for the Lakers this year. I think it's time to move on to a new team. Maybe go back to retire in Cleveland. Go back to your home. Go back and play in Cleveland for another year. Retire there, and give it all. Be a role player. Come off the bench or start, whatever it is. Start, play, whatever it is. Go back to Cleveland for one final year. LeBron James, I don't know if this kind of gives it away. LeBron James was tearing up when Cleveland gave him a tribute video earlier this year in Cleveland. Does that kind of give away something in a way? What do you think? One second. Just continue talking. I'll be right back 1 second.
No, I think it just puts it into perspective. You know, when Luka teared up for Dallas, it was because he was coming back home, a place he considered home. Still a shock that he was moved out of it. But LeBron, he's left Cleveland almost a decade ago, and just puts into perspective the career he's had and how he eventually, from being the chosen one to the most hated one, and then the redeemed one. Yeah, just for LeBron, it's a culmination of what he achieved in Cleveland. But Justin, I totally agree with you. I think for LeBron James, it's either he's going to retire in the offseason or next year. Only way maybe he does another 2 years is if he moves to, like, let's say a Knicks on a minimum deal, and then first year he tries to win a championship, second year is a farewell season. But even that, I just don't see LeBron being here after next season. I don't, and he's getting older. He's said that he doesn't want to play if the wheels fall off. He wants to retire at a healthy age and live. And also Savannah wants him to go, and when his wife wants him to retire, we don't know about the status of his Bryce yet. Still a lot of rumors. Bronny, he's played with Bronny. He achieved playoff history with Bronny as well. And if there is no avenue for him to win a championship, to me, I think he's gone.
Yep. No, I agree. I do.
I think he has 1 more year left ahead of him.
Yep.
1 more season. And I think he goes.
Hopefully. I mean, Steph's going to go soon as well. He'll go in 2 to 3 years probably. Don't know about Kevin Durant. So this generation of superstars, they're gone. It's not even their time anymore.
The thing is, sorry, no, finish your point. Sorry,
bro. No, I'm just saying for the NBA. You know, 5 years ago, if you were to say LeBron, Steph, KD, even Kawhi to an extent, if these players were to retire, you'd say it'd be a problem for the NBA. But thankfully, even though the king may be leaving, the greatness of the NBA still lives on. That's the beauty of it. The NBA will still be fine. It will just be a big hole to replace, of course.
I agree with you. It's just, for me personally, like, I think he has 1 more year left. I just think he has 1 more year left. I think he sets off in the sun after 1 more year. I think you don't go out in a way. You don't go out this way. I mean, you got swept. I don't think this is the way to go out. You have one more year, in my opinion, ahead, and just see what you can do. Go out stronger. Don't go out like this. And I don't think LeBron and Steph will retire at the same time. I think one retires before the other. I think LeBron retires before Steph. Steph will retire in like 2 or 3 more years. I think LeBron has 1 more year left ahead of him. Because I think Steph might be thinking he can win another championship. That's his mentality, I think, in my opinion. LeBron's like, all right, I'm already at the age of 40. Winning a championship would be hard. I'll go out in a better way. I'll set off at the start with a better, sort of way to go. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he'll go out in a better way than this. I don't think he goes out losing, like getting swept. There's many other better ways to leave. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anywho, I think that's the LeBron stuff. Let's talk about another player, another superstar in the NBA that could potentially be on his way out of his current team, and that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know if you guys saw what Shams was saying, but apparently the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit. No, I think you're lagging, Augustia, actually. Oh, you double checked as well? Hold on 1 second. Am I lagging as well?
I think there's some feedback on the stream. We can hear you now, so don't worry about it.
Justin, am I lagging?
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
Am I lagging now?
No, we can hear you, Ekman. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Keep talking.
Do you want me to repeat everything? I can say it again.
No, just carry on from where you left off.
I was just saying that Giannis Antetokounmpo could be honest, we out of Milwaukee. I mean, the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Golden State Warriors. I think the New York Knicks also inquired. Also, I think they made a move. Not made a move, but they approached Giannis in a way at the trade deadline. This previously. What do you guys say on the Giannis trade rumors? Do you think he stays in Milwaukee or do you think he leaves? I think his time is done in Milwaukee. I think he goes. I personally think he goes. Don't know where. I don't know who will get him. I'll start with Justin first in this one, actually. What do you make of the Giannis trade rumors? I think you discussed it on the Celtics show last Thursday. What do you make of all the rumors that are going on right now? What do you think will happen? Talk to me, bro.
I don't think Giannis is coming here. I don't. I think he is leaving Milwaukee, but I don't think he's coming here. Destinations, I think if LeBron is leaving the Lakers, I think he goes to the Lakers. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
That's interesting, Justin, and I think many people have floated that idea, but The Athletic, if I'm not mistaken, have said that Luka wants the Lakers to keep Austin Reeves, and of course the way to get Giannis would be a deal involving Austin Reeves. I don't really see how the Lakers can get Giannis without doing that. So, and Rob Pelinka has just come out moments ago saying that the Lakers moving forward, the archetype of team they want to build, his words, not mine, is around Luka. Luka's the leader. Luka's the man. They want to build a team similar to the Mavs did in 23-24 that got them to the finals, but better. So I think that's the aim. And I agree, Giannis and Luka would be a good fit. Not as good as Wemby and Luka, because it's a side note, in my opinion, Luka shouldn't have signed a new contract with the Lakers. He should have considered going to the Spurs. I mean, and the Spurs could have done a trade for Luka as well. They had, of course, De'Aaron Fox, one of their two young guards, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, maybe a wing, a Keldon Johnson, or Harrison Barnes type of player and picks. Luka Wemby would have been the best team, perhaps in NBA history, maybe, but that's for another time. And yeah, I think in terms of Giannis, I think Lakers is on the cards, of course, but they're building a team around Luka, not a team of stars now, which is a big shift in identity and direction. So I'm not sure. I think Miami, New York, if they don't win the championship, those are two places that also tout for them. And big up to Vosi. Always nice to see a legend like yourself in the chat.
Big up Tifosi. Big up my amigo. You know what I'm trying to say. Me personally, I don't know where Giannis could end up. Like, honestly speaking, like looking at the market, right? There's New York. There's you got to throw Boston, LA. You got to throw Golden State. You got to throw Miami. You got to throw all these top teams. All the teams that hell, I'll even throw Milwaukee in there still. They still have a slight chance to keep Giannis unless they can persuade him. Otherwise, they can build a team around him again. Otherwise, I just don't see it. However, what we're looking at right now is Giannis is potentially wanting to leave Milwaukee. He's kind of fallen out with the team in the terms of they can't win a championship, they can't build a team around him. They're trying to they're trying to figure out a suitable move for him. You know, I think there's another team we're kind of forgetting in there. There's one more team that we're not talking about, and it's not San Antonio. It's not Denver.
No,
nope. It's the Toronto Raptors. Because they have got assets to throw at Giannis for the trade. And, bro, going from Milwaukee to Toronto, it's not that far of a move. It ain't that far of a move. Think about it. You know, Milwaukee's kind of up north in a way. You know what I'm trying to say? So think about it. I think it'll be a good move for Giannis if he goes to Toronto. I think they have assets to throw at Milwaukee for that. I mean, I know you're losing a Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Ingram could be one of the players that could be thrown at the trade as well. I know it might ruin Toronto's future in a way because Toronto have a good young team and whatnot. But I just think that will make them contenders. Him, Scotty Barnes, that would be a solid move. And Toronto has some draft picks as well. The Lakers are slightly the biggest team from what I know, and both eliminated. That happen often? No, not really. Not really. The Lakers get more eliminated than Boston, and I'm not taking the piss, but the Celtics won a championship recently.
Well, since 2008, since 2010, the Lakers and Celtics have won a combined 2 championships. So that's 2 championships in around 16 years. That's your answer to Fosi. They haven't won a lot recently, and I think the NBA has had 7 different winners in the last 7 years, so it's pretty competitive. But this time we're looking at a new team, Oklahoma City Thunder, reigning champions. They're the favorites to go back this year as well. So we're looking at a new dynasty being built. But that's a good question, man. Yeah, good question. And Ekevin, I agree. Toronto's interesting. I do not know how Giannis is over 30. He's 31, 32. Yeah. I'm not sure. We talk about assets. Would Toronto be willing to go the full length to get Giannis? Would they be willing to give up a Scotty Barnes, for example? Because if the Bucks, we know how stingy the Bucks are with keeping Giannis.
Yeah. Or if there's a new team in the works to come in next year, for example, like a Seattle, for example, hell even, whoever moves to the East. Who knows? Minnesota could be one. Whoever moves to the East could be one that moves in for Giannis. I mean, a Vegas team that comes in as well, or Seattle. They could be like, all right, you know what? Giannis is up for trade. Let's bring him in right away. Let's build a team around Giannis. They might be thinking right away. So look, I think that could be possible. Where do I see him ending up? I think Steph will say, all right, I'm in my final 3 years of my career. Give me Giannis. We'll try and go for a championship together. Steph will convince Golden State, convince me otherwise you can get Giannis in this trade. No worries, Tifosi. Take care, brother. Take care. See you later, bro. Take care. Thank you for joining in, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like button as well and sub to the channel if you're new around here. 95 subs to 700. Come on, guys. You know what to do. But yeah, man, I'm just saying this right now. Like that, there's a possibility. I think Golden State could get him. I don't think he goes to Boston. I don't want Jaylen Brown traded. I don't want to break up the Jays, bro. Why are we in this fucking part of the season again with this Jaylen Brown trade rumors? Shut the fuck up. Respectfully, shut the fuck up. Like, time and time again, they just want to the media just want to break up the Jays. They want to just create some tension, cause some beef, unnecessary beef for no reason, and then talk about this team not being able to win the championship when they've already done so. They've already done so. I'm not trading JB for Giannis. Say whatever you like. I don't want JB traded. I want JB to stay in Boston. I want JB as a Celtic. I want the Celtics to keep the Jays, build around them still, continue doing what they're doing. Don't get Giannis. If it doesn't work, don't let it work. The Lakers could be a place where Giannis could go. Austin Reeves is having a playoff stinker as per usual. Annual playoff stinker for Austin Reeves. Good player. He's had some good runs, but I think the Lakers are thinking they might have to cut their losses. They're gonna get Giannis. They might have to cut their losses. They might have to. They might have to, bro. And I think if Austin Reeves is the one that they use up for trade, then I won't be surprised. Miami could be one for Giannis. Miami's a nice place to live for Giannis. He could be going there. Brooklyn, I don't know. Brooklyn aren't really doing anything at the moment. They're not really building anything. They're not really building anything at the moment. I mean, Giannis, who does he have alongside him that can really try and help him win a championship? Michael Porter Jr. Respectfully, I rate the guy. He's a really good player, but he's not a lead. He's not a lead guy. He's not going to lead you to the playoffs. You need an extra third guy in Brooklyn. I think you could possibly go to New York. New York's one that can go for. I mean, Brunson's in his prime. Karl Anthony Towns, as much as he's been amazing for the Knicks, you're upgrading with Giannis. You're gonna make an upgrade with Giannis. You make that move. Brunson and Giannis together would be a solid duo. Would be crazy. Would be crazy duo. The Lakers. I mean, Luka, Giannis. The defense is up in the air. I mean, I don't know. They might have to trade away a lot of pieces like Hachimura. They might need to trade away like Austin Reeves. That might be a detriment to the depth in a way. So I don't think the Lakers might want to do it unless they can really afford him in free agency, because they're not under second apron threat yet. The Lakers are not there yet. Who else am I thinking? San Antonio. I mean, who would they have to trade? De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle. It's not worth their depth. I don't think the Spurs would trade for them. So yeah, not many. I mean, many options, but at the same time, it's gonna be tough because the salary thing is where I draw the line with. The salary is where I'm thinking, ooh, yeah, that could be tough. So yeah, I just think Giannis. With Giannis, I think he stays in the East, or he goes to either Miami or Golden State. There you go. So I think. But you have any more to say?
Yeah, I mean, I can check Polymarket to see the odds, but I agree with you. I think logically, there are not many teams that can afford to take the risk on Giannis. Giannis is also, again, he's past his physical peak. He's 31. Many teams in the NBA already have cores that the risk reward isn't worth it. And unfortunately for Giannis, also Jokic, two players at a time you could consider perhaps top 5, top 10 player potential in NBA history. They still do, of course, but staying with the one team that didn't grow around them, that didn't build around them as much, has come to bite them in the back deeply. So, yeah, if I was to look at sports and go to teams that Giannis was, I'm looking at Polymarket. I'm just going to have a quick search. Giannis, where is he going to go? 31% of Polymarket says, 56% of Polymarket says the New York Knicks are his next destination. So that's assuming that, of course, if they win the championship, they wouldn't do that. 20% say he goes to Boston. That's a bit strange in my opinion. 22% Cleveland Cavaliers is an outside shot. I would love that. I think if Giannis went to the Cavs, that would be a genius move. Because then you have that winning mentality. You have pieces around Giannis. And if you can keep one of your two guards like Donovan Mitchell as a second option, I think that Cavs team could win the championship if Giannis is there. Trade one of your twin towers. Maybe you can put Harden in that deal. Get some picks. I mean, Justin, that might be best for both parties. Because the Bucks, what about that, Justin? The Cleveland Cavaliers is Giannis' next team. Because the Bucks, we've seen, they have pieces like Kevin Porter Jr., they have Bobby Portis as well. Without Giannis, they have Ryan Rollins as well.
Harden to jump ship every single year, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So, and Bucks can trade him on because they don't need a guard necessarily. I think if they can get one of the bigs, if they can get Mobley or Allen, I think Cleveland should spin it. Yeah, I'm saying this on air. Keep Donovan Mitchell, trade for Giannis, and build a team like that. Keep your role players. That team wins the championship, in my opinion. Did I just cook something up? What do we make of that, guys?
I think Cleveland would be a bad option. I just think the pieces you might have to trade for him is going to be tough, because then you might have to trade away like a Jarrett Allen, and that ruins your defense in a way. But like I said, trading for Giannis is not easy, because you might lose a lot of your depth. You might lose a lot of your bench pieces that comes off that comes off the bench and helps you win games. And with the second apron rule of the NBA being placed in the NBA, it's going to be really tough to hold on to Giannis for a longer period of time, because the salary is only going to take over. Look, I'm not going to. I personally, in my opinion, I won't rule out him staying in Milwaukee, because the Bucks might still persuade him in a way and say, "All right, we're going to build a team around you now, fully," because we gave you Dame, didn't work out. Drew Holiday, we traded. That's on the front office, So, look, there's a time where Milwaukee might just say, either we keep you, we build a team around you, or I think it's time to part ways, because you've got a whole. Because look, the Bucks have a decent group of players they have to play with, right? They have a decent group of players they can play with, but at the same time, they're not going to win you a championship. They're not going to be like players that will go out there and help me get far in the playoffs. No, I don't see that. But at the same time, then again, how many times have the Bucks tried this and they failed? So it's so many things at once. And I personally think he could still stay if Giannis agrees to help the team rebuild. If they fully give Giannis the team he needs to go win the championship. Because don't forget, this guy's won a championship with Milwaukee already. They gave him Chris Middleton. They gave him Drew Holiday. These players helped him win a championship. It's all about building a solid foundation now with Milwaukee in order for him to go and win. Can he still do that? Yeah. But at the same time, like, there's so many other places you can win championships with. And your career is, you've not got many years left in your career. So there's many things at once, man. Many things at once. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that on that part, on the Giannis trade list. Do you have any more to say? You guys have any more to say? I don't know if you guys agree with me. I don't know if you guys want to add anything.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think we'll see what happens to Giannis. I think he's probably going to leave the Bucks. He doesn't seem like he wants to be there. The Bucks doesn't seem like they want the baggage anymore, and they're building for the future. So I think for both parties, it's best if they part ways, in my opinion. And with LeBron, to recap, I think LeBron has one more year tops.
Last but not least, we've got one more topic left, and that is the NBA draft that just came out, the lottery. What do you guys? Okay, someone bring up the lottery order, and someone talk about the draft order and obviously the trades that they made in the draft, and which team got shafted, which team didn't get shafted, and whatnot. Obviously, we know the Wizards are number one. Obviously, we know number two is what the Clippers were number two or something. I forgot. Who was it? I forgot what number two. But regardless, what do you guys bring up the list and all?
It was the Wizards, Jazz, Grizzlies, Bulls.
Okay. All right. Anyways, I'll start with you, Augustin. What do you think of the draft? Sorry.
Yeah, look, of course the Wizards. That is a beautiful. It's great for them to get the number one pick, because if you look at their team, they would have Trae Young, Keshawn George, the number one pick in the draft as their three. You'd have Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr as their starting five. Not many in the East could compete with them. I'd say that's A tier. not S tier, but A tier. That's a really, really good team that can go toe to toe with anyone on any given night. So the Wizards, from looking like the weakest team in the East, probably looking like one of the most emerging, blossoming, bright teams out there. If we look down the order as well, Utah Jazz finishing second, that's good because they wanted to tank and they got that. Memphis Grizzlies as well, they would need that third pick as well. Chicago Bulls, disappointing. You'd want them to get the first pick. Given the miseries they've had, they're probably the most poorly run team in the whole league. I don't know who they would get at fourth. The Clippers at fifth. This is interesting because late season and even with the trade, the Clippers had and their momentum, they look like a bona fide playoff team. If it was just the second half of the season for them. The same with the Charlotte Hornets, who by the way are 14th pick, the lost lottery team. The Clippers are probably a top 15 team in the league. So for them to have a pick that high, that is a gift from the heavens and for Ty Lue and his men. So if Kawhi stays back, Darius Garland can be fit, Maturin as well. I don't know how high the Clippers can aim next season, and of course Brooklyn Nets. You look down the draft order, the Warriors 11th. There was a lot of speculation with Steve Kerr re-signing with the Golden State Warriors that they might get a lottery pick. You know, Adam Silver working his magic. I'm not accusing you of anything. The Mr. Bald Man, but it didn't work out. They got the 11th pick. OKC 12. Guys, look, it could have been worse, but for the best team in the NBA, for the dynasty to get 12th, to get a lottery pick, doesn't look good. And then, of course, the Mavs getting 9th, Bucks getting 10th.
I mean, they got they traded for so many picks that year. Remember that? For SGA and the Clippers. That was the year they made so many pick trades. You guys remember that one?
Yes, exactly, which is why it could have been worse, right? They could have been in a top 10 pick, but 12th is still really good for a championship winning team. So, yeah, to go through the draft, biggest winners, the Washington Wizards, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, OKC, Charlotte Hornets. And, of course, if we talk about biggest losers, then I think the Mavs will be a bit disappointed. The Nets will be very disappointed. The Bulls would have wanted a higher pick as well. But it will be an interesting draft. We have some nice prospects. The number one prospect is also a Frenchman, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to try and butcher his name. And Bryce James might be in the draft class, so it'll be fun.
But the French players in the draft this year?
Yeah, initials AD. So
hold on. NBA draft.
If I'm not mistaken, he has French roots or
hold on. So obviously, first one is being AJ DeBonsta, Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Darius Cuff. You know, what do you mean? Was it the French player that's in the
sorry,
draft?
yeah, I know DeBonsta represents America, but he has his dad is French, so he has like strong ties to France.
AJ DeBonsta.
Yeah,
that's it.
But either way, I think AJ DeBonsta will be a great. That's the pronunciation. Will be a great pick for the Wizards.
Boston College. So listen, can't wait to see how he does in the NBA. Hopefully, one day he wears all the green. We'll see. Sorry, guys, let me cut you off.
No, I've said what I've had to say about the draft, and we'll look forward to it. We still, I don't know, I don't want to confess that I have been extensively looking at the draft deep players, the prospective players. I haven't checked them out too much, but just looking at winners and losers, I think those teams, Wizards, Clippers, OKC, will be the most delighted with where they finished. Justin?
Over to you, Justin.
I don't got much to say on the draft except congrats to the Wizards and yeah, like I said, it's the AD effect. If you trade for AD or you trade away AD, you get the number one pick.
Cool. Any other news on the NBA? Any other things you guys want to discuss before we close out?
No, as I said, Steve Kerr re-signing for the Golden State Warriors. That's good for clarity for them. Maybe means Steph will stay longer. Apart from that, also looking forward to tonight's games. We still are in the postseason. Dylan Harper has been downgraded to questionable. He might not play tonight. De'Aaron Fox is a game-time decision. So those could be two big absences for the Spurs. No Fox, no Harper potentially tonight. Does that change the outcome? Begs the question. We will see.
Predictions for tonight?
With those two injuries, you
I'm
put it
still
50. I agree, but just.
Yeah. Justin, prediction? Spurs? And tomorrow, Cavs Pistons. I'm saying Pistons win at home.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Spurs in 6. Spurs game 6. We will come back if there's any elimination or if there's a game. Well, no, so if there's an elimination, if, for example, Cavs or Pistons go through before the Spurs or Timberwolves, or if one of the Spurs Timberwolves go through before the Cavs or Pistons, we'll be live. We're going to preview Game 7 and everything. So we'll be live for that. We're not done yet for the second round. But I'm trying to limit the NBA shows at the moment. I'm trying to just get, as much as across I can. We had a lot of news today. Obviously, one being really heartbreaking, and still, like I said, apologies if I did not get a proper word across it. But said what I could. I've said the best I can on everything. And apologies if I've not been on camera quite a lot. My shoulder has been fucking pain in the ass. I've been struggling. I gotta say, I can barely sit down, bro. My shoulder fucking hurts, bro. I'm not even taking the pill. So, I'm just sitting here watching the Al Nassr Al Hilal game right now. Hence why I got my Al Nassr shirt on, and Al Nassr just scored. So listen, I'll be watching the game. So stay tuned to that, people. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm back live tomorrow with Ray. Tomorrow afternoon, we're gonna do a sports podcast. I'm finally going to call it the AN Sports Podcast. We're finally dedicating the show. We're finally dedicating a podcast to the name of this channel. We're finally going to do that. But tomorrow, we'll stay tuned to that, people. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be live. And tomorrow, and for the Premier League show, it got moved to tomorrow, people. So don't worry, it's not cancelled. It's moved to tomorrow. We're going to preview the City Palace game. We're going to review the game weekend. We're going to talk about City Palace. And the next Premier League show is tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, I am back. Sorry, Friday night. So I'm back live Friday night for another Premier League show. Right on your Pod Friday as well.
Is this the perfect time for me to say something about the channel?
Of course. Go ahead.
So, Augustia,
make sure you guys subscribe to Justin's channel, people. Links in the chat, pinned in the chat. Sorry, bro. Go on.
So, Augustia, like I told Akevin before we started, my friend Maddie is gonna try to get my admin status back on StreamYard at the moment. So I told Akevin, like, we can't. Let's try not to make any shows for my channel, like NBA wise on there. So guys, next season, Akevin, are we moving the NBA show to my channel next season?
50-50. I'm reconsidering.
We'll keep you guys up to date, but yeah, that's basically that.
Like I said, I'm still gonna be on Justin's channel frequently as he's on my channel, so maybe more frequently than he's on my channel. To be honest, next year I might do we might not do consistent NBA shows like we're doing weekly. We might just do like once a month NBA shows, like just talking because there's too many games to talk about. There's not really much. I mean, before any breaking news, we'll go live for that. Like breaking news NBA shows, we'll be live for that. We're gonna talk about the month of for example, recap this month, recap this and that, how this team that team's doing. We might just do like a once a month thing on the channel.
Yeah, but I just gotta wait for Manny to get me my admin status back on StreamYard, because if I can't, then I can't schedule live videos on there.
With the Celtics show, I'm reconsidering whether I want to do the Celtics show on my channel next season. But as things stand, I think I'll be back live for that for next season. So at the moment, there's nothing much to really talk about this season. For the rest of the season, unfortunately. But I mean, all you Ralph fans are probably laughing. All you Ralph fans are probably laughing at me saying that, but it's true. We got nothing much to say this season anymore. Nothing much left to say this season. But anyways, I mean, Yeah, well, we'll still be live for that, but that's next season. And if there's any breaking news, Justin will be live straight away for that. So always stay tuned for any scheduled shows and whatnot.
So given, like I said, I will keep you up to date on when I can get my admin status back
just message me. Just message me. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Cool. Anyways, guys.
Yeah, but I'm good.
I just want.
Sorry. Go on.
Just saying, those are big updates, and Justin, I'm looking forward to next season. Should be a blast having you host the NBA show a lot. Should be banger after banger after banger, and also for the Boston Celtics. Who knows? Could be a generational year. Luka and the Celtics facing off in the finals.
We love that. Anyways, see you guys on the next NBA show. See you for the next show, which is tomorrow. So stay tuned. That we ain't going anywhere. So yeah, 95 subs to 700, guys. Come on, you already know what to do. 95 subs to go.
Big up Almas there, by the way. About to win the league title if this stays.
Hopefully.
Don't think it.
Anyways, 95 subs to 700. Sub to Justin's channel. Links pinned in the chat. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Take care. My shoulder's a fucking pain in the ass, but I'll get over it. Like, subscribe. See you later.